Hi, I'm Abby, and welcome to KBI's Play Your Song Academy. Today we'll be talking about how to take care of your flute. The topics we'll cover are what not to do, how to put your flute together, how to clean out your flute after you've played it, the correct posture when you're playing in band, how to put your flute back in the case, and all the really awesome accessories we have. But first, we're going to have to talk about all the parts of the flute. The flute has three main parts: the head joint, the body, and the foot joint. Let's take off the pieces so that you can see them all individually. The smallest piece is the foot joint. It looks like this. The body in the center is this section right here. It has a bunch of buttons on it, but we call those the keys. And inside the keys are your pads. They're how you seal the keys and make different notes. The top part, the most important part, is your head joint. The head joint is where you blow in to make sound. The very top of the head joint is called the crown. This piece actually twists, but we'll talk about that later. The other part that's important is the lip plate. That makes sense because you sit it on your lip in order to play. And the part that you blow in is called the tone hole. Now that you know all of the parts, we need to talk about the things you are not supposed to do. Never ever get your flute wet. When it gets wet, you can mess up all those pads we talked about. And the pads are really important because if your pads don't work, you can't make different notes. If they get wet, they could get really sticky and stay closed, or they could just break and then they won't seal and make a sound. You also do not want to play with that crown we talked about at the top of the head joint. If you spin that around too many times, it can either fall off and you'll lose it and then your flute will sound a little bit strange, or if you keep spinning it, there's a piece inside the head joint that moves too, and it can make you out of tune, and then you won't sound good with your neighbor. Another thing that you don't want to do is play with any screws that are on your flute. There are a lot. They're called adjustment screws, and they're what keep all of your keys closing at the right times. If you mess with those, that can really be a big issue. The next thing that you want to remember never ever to do is to put oil or grease on your flute, especially the head joint. You might find at some point when you're putting the instrument together that the head joint is really difficult to get on. Well, you do not want to use any sort of grease on there because grease can get kind of sticky. If you put your flute away having grease on it, then it might pick up some of the fuzz that's inside of your case. And if that happens, it'll just get worse and worse, and then you can't get your flute together. We'll talk about how to make that easier later. Another really important thing not to do is to grab the keys, and especially don't sword fight. I don't know who would ever do that. That sounds like a terrible idea. Sword fighting, no. You could get a dent in your flute, or if you grab the keys too much, you can bend all your keys up, and then, again, you can't play your flute, and that is no fun. So, now that you know all the things you're not supposed to do, let's talk about how we put the flute together the right way. Now, we talked about not grabbing the keys. So the best way to put the whole flute together is to hold your flute up here where there's no keys. Head joint doesn't have any keys, so you don't have to worry about that. When I put my pieces together, I make sure that I twist. Sometimes I have to switch hands. So if you twist your flute pieces together, it'll go on a lot easier than if you try to do just straight on or straight off. That's really hard. So make sure to always twist. Now, if you're having that problem we were talking about where you might be tempted to put grease on it, don't do that. You could instead use something like a cloth or an old t-shirt, and you wipe around the part that goes into your flute, and you wipe inside the flute. See how dirty it can be in there? Oh, that's not a good picture. You can also do that on your foot joint. Now that you've got your head joint on, now we got to figure out how to put the foot joint on. You can keep holding your body up here at the top. And the foot joint, the way that I like to do it, it's a little bit easier. You can take your thumb. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to use my right thumb. I put it over these two keys here, And then I can twist it on to the body like this. I know I said don't grab any keys. I don't think this is grabbing. This is just pressing down 2 keys lightly with my thumb so that I can get a little bit of strength behind it. Another important thing is once you've got it together, the little end of your keys of your foot joint should line up about with the middle of the last key on your body. Now that you know how to put it together, we gotta go learn how to sit correctly in band. Let's go over to the lesson room. Welcome to the lesson room. Let's talk about the right way to sit in band. In your band room, you'll probably have a chair and a stand. Right now, this chair is exactly facing the stand, but what you need to do instead is take your chair and turn it a little bit to the right. Now you can see the front of the chair. Now I'm going to sit in it. But when I sit, I'm not looking at my stand at all, but I'm going to keep my legs facing this way, and I'm going to turn to face the music stand this way. Now I have a lot of room to breathe when I play my flute. If I left my chair facing the stand, I'd have to reach way across my body, and I wouldn't be able to take very good breaths. So I'm going to put it back the right way. Another important thing when you're playing is don't cross your legs. I'm sure your band director will tell you that, but make sure you keep both feet flat on the floor. This also helps with breathing, and the flute takes a lot of air. Another really helpful thing about sitting this way is that you'll be able to put your flute behind another flute player's head if you have a lot of flute players in your band. That way, you'll have lots of space and you won't hit anyone else in the head. Another way that you can practice is you can practice standing up. I like to stand up when I practice. When I stand and practice, I do almost the same thing. Instead of standing straight onto my stand, I turn my body a little bit to the right. I put my right foot back a little bit, and then I face my stand with my shoulders. That way I have a lot of room for breathing and practicing. Now that you know how to stand and practice and sit and practice, you better go practice. Now that you know the right way to stand and sit when you play, I'm sure you've practiced a whole bunch. So now we need to learn how to clean out our instrument after we play. So first, you have to carefully take your instrument apart. Remember, don't grab any of the keys. Oh, yeah, you must have practiced a bunch. There's a lot of spit in there. Don't worry, it's not actually spit, it's just a kind of water. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to swab all that out of our instrument. So the way you do that is, hopefully your flute, wherever you got it, came with one of these. This is called the flute rod, and it has a little hole in it. And I'll show you what that's for in just a second. You'll also need some sort of swab. If you came to KBI and got a care kit, you probably have one of these types of silk flute swabs in your case. Or if you don't have that, you can also use, like I said before, a piece of a t-shirt or even a handkerchief. So I'll show you how to use this one, but it works for any kind of cloth. What you want to do is take one of your pointy edges and you thread it through the little hole in your flute rod. Then you take the end that you threaded through and go over the top of your rod. Then you want to twist it up like this so that you can hold on to the swab so that it doesn't get stuck inside of your head joint. Then you can take your head joint, put your swab inside. I like to twist it around a few times to make sure that I got all the moisture out. You can see how wet it is. I was playing a lot. Then I like to take my body. So remember how we held the keys on the foot joint and then no keys on the top joint. Twist it apart. And then your flute rod's a little bit shorter than your flute body, but you can just push it through with your finger until you see it at the bottom, and then you can pull it through. And last, you just do the same thing with your foot joint. All right, now that we have our flutes clean, we need to talk about how they go in the case. The flute case is set up kind of like a puzzle. It has 3 spots where only certain size pieces can fit. The most important one to be careful with is the body of the flute. So the body of the flute has this one little key that sticks out right here. It needs to make sure that it sits in the case facing you. You'll see in the picture that the little piece is sitting out on top of a part of the case. Then your foot joint goes in the little slot and your head joint goes in the medium one. Another important thing to think about is when you're in the band room with a whole bunch of your friends playing music, sometimes you might have to get up and go to the bathroom or get a tissue. So what you want to do is keep your flute safe when you leave it alone. The very best option when you have to get up and leave your flute is to put it back in the case. But if you're unable to do that, you can take it into its 3 pieces and sit it in your chair. That way, if someone else walks by, they're not going to hit your flute off the chair and possibly cause some damage. So now that we know all that really important stuff, let's talk about how all of the really cool accessories can help you with your flute playing. First, since we already talked about the flute swab, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about some other things we have with swabs. We have some that are different colors. So one day you might have to replace the swab that you have. And we have them in blue and green and purple and I think black too. So you could replace it and get a really fun color. Another option for a swab we have is called a pad saver. Pad savers are kind of fuzzy and striped like this. Now you also have to be really careful with a pad saver. The pad saver can only be used one of 2 ways. The first way you could use it is use it as a swab. You swab out your instrument and then you put it in the outside pocket or keep it outside of your instrument. If you want to use it as a pad saver, first you swab it with your cloth and then you put the pad saver inside the instrument and leave it there when you close your case. You can only do that though if you've already swabbed the instrument out, because otherwise you're just leaving a bunch of wet, gooey stuff inside your instrument, and that would end up being like putting water on your instrument, which we said was a bad thing. Another really neat accessory you can get is a flute stand. My flute has been sitting on that stand during this video. The one I have here is really nifty because you can put the little legs down like this and then condense it. And then it's a little tiny flute stand that you can put in your case or your backpack and carry it around with you. Now my very favorite accessory that I have here is the thumb port. It looks like this. This one's pink, but we have them in lots of colors. What the thumb port does is it attaches to your flute just like this. Bloop. And then it helps you balance your flute while you're playing. You may not have played your flute a lot yet, but once you do, you'll start to realize that your thumb over here that balances your flute, it likes to slide all over the place and do its own thing. And when it does that, it makes it really hard for you to move your fingers quickly. And one day you're going to have to move them really fast. Now, if you can keep your flute balanced with this super cool thumb port, I have one on my flute, it helps you move your fingers fast, and then you can play all those scales and fun, quick passages. The last accessory I want to talk about is really neat. It is cases. One day, you might want to get a new case that fits your personality. So we have cases that are bright pink like this one. We have ones that are teal, we have ones that are blue, we have really sleek black ones, and even some with polka dots on them. So whatever you're looking for, we probably have something like that for you. What if you want more than one accessory at once? Well, we also have an option for that. This is the flute care kit that we carry here at KBI Music Shop. Inside the care kit, you'll get one of those silk swabs, also a silver polishing cloth that you can use to keep your flute really shiny, and some other little accessories that will help you along the way. So thank you for joining me today. I hope this video was really helpful for you and that you really love playing your flute. Thanks for watching today. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at info@kbimusicshop.com or call us at 540-891-7800. Our staff would love to help you out. Also, check out our website. It's www.kbimusicshop.com for a PDF of this video's information and for all your musical needs. Let us help you play your song.